Everyone, welcome to the Community Weekly. So this week, like every week, we're going to talk about what we've been working on, the ideas we had, and give you an opportunity to give feedback at the end. So the event is also available on YouTube. So if you miss it, you can get it here. But we're doing it every week at the same time for 5:45 p.m. CET. And yeah, this week is gonna be a small one. Personally, someone said something.
No.
So I've done a lot of little knits, but there's also, and if you look at our commits, I think we're going at a higher rate of commits than before, and that's a lot due to using Claude very efficiently. Personally, myself, I've been able to leverage it really, really well. So I've done a lot of little things. I've also done a lot of experiments, things that I didn't think were necessarily worth doing because they are too time intensive, but now with Claude, it's kind of possible to achieve a lot more. But overall, I'll say the things that are most user visible, I've been focusing on the raw apps, and I'm going to share my screen very quickly. I don't have that much to present, but
I believe we lost Ruben.
Disappeared.
He had not much to present, but he still had some things to present, so he'll be coming in a matter of seconds.
okay, attempt number 2. Okay, great. So you should be able to see my screen. So this is the raw app builder. Guillaume has done some improvement on the history UI. Myself, I worked on 2 major things. The first one is to support routing within the app, so you can build multi-page app. Before you kind of like cool, but it wouldn't work once you deployed it. And multi-page app allow you to go be a lot more ambitious about what kind of app you develop in raw apps. So I get the most noticeable change is now if you I'm on the wrong workspace. Let me. So you will see how it's done from scratch. React Router DOM to actually import it. The interesting thing here is that I use an out router. Pass router is not going to work, but apart from that, it's all normal app. I deploy it, and then directly, if I go there, then I have a app that work with routing. So pretty powerful. The other thing we've added is feature parity with normal apps. So we have public URL. So now this actually is available publicly. We actually are going to add some more feature to this, but in general, like one of the things that is also possible right now is to pass query context arguments. So when you build a backend script, now you can actually pass as an input, I'll say safe argument, so username, email, things like that. What's missing is being able to pass them directly in the front end. You can do it through the backend, but it would be a little bit nicer to pass them in the front end directly, so that you could say hello, username, things like that. They should not be trusted because they can be manipulated, which is why we have those what we call safe values, which are contextual arguments about who it is, which is you can use in your backend runnables to do things that require authentication or permission and trust those values. So you just do this, select it, and now you know that this argument is going to be a username. That's pretty much it. I think for me, I'm doing a lot of experiments at the same time, performance improvements, how to improve the local CLI experience, how you can build more efficiently with agents locally. So a lot of exciting stuff are gonna come in the coming weeks. We've also updated the roadmap. So if there are items that you find interesting, you might take a look at the roadmap. As a reminder, you can find it here, roadmap, and then we put a lot of things in here, which because of Cloud Code, we think we're gonna be able to achieve relatively soon. And yeah, that's it for me. Maybe next, do you want to follow?
Yes, not much to show this week. I was working a lot on support, the customer portal, where I was working still on the usage statistics. I'm also working on HIPAA compliance, so internal basically security postures and controls, so that our cloud offering can be used for HIPAA compliant applications. It's probably still gonna take a bit, as there's other controls than our SOC 2 that still need to be done, but overall it's quite a big overlap, so that should be fine. Also was working on basically the RDS IAM fixes for pod identity and IRSA authentication, so the short term basically tokens rather than long-term AWS access keys, and they are now part of the last release. So a lot of this type of work this week. Yeah, maybe Farhad, do you want to go next?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, so on my side, I have been mainly working on improving our compatibility for AI providers. I can share my screen really quick. Yeah, so relatively small stuff, but first thing is now you can use Codestral from any provider. Until now, it was limited to Mistral. Because Mistral allows us to like call the fill in the middle endpoint, which is optimized for auto completion. But now we can fall back on the normal completion endpoint, so it will be less optimized, but it will work if you want to do it that way. Second thing is we now support anthropic models through Google Vertex AI. So you close it here and input your correct endpoint here, and it will work. And the third thing is now for Bedrock. I think it's in my local instance, so it's not available yet. But now you will be able to just check on your environment if you have any credentials. So it can be like environment variables like a config file, or if you are hosting Windmill in an AWS instance. So you'll be able to check here, and if it's available, you won't have to like fill anything here, and it will work. And yeah, that's it for me. And as Ruben said, next week I will work with him on ROAPs to improve the local dev experience with AI. But yeah, maybe Diego, if you want to go next.
Yeah, I won't present much this week. I mostly did bug fixes. I did do some cool stuff on the assets, but I'll wait till next week to show you the whole thing. But basically now that the assets will detect at runtime too. But right now it already detects. It's always been detecting like statically if you hadn't set in your code, and now it can detect if you pass it as a job input. And now I'm gonna work on trying to detect assets when you use them at runtime, which yeah, will be pretty cool. So yeah, next week. Martin, do you want to go next?
Yeah, sure. Well, I don't think there's anything on my side to present this week. So maybe Tristan, if you wanna go.
Mostly worked on the landing page this week, so on the video. So if you want, you can access to new video explaining the local dev experience on Windmill directly from the landing page. I think it would be better if you discover it by yourself, so it's already available. So yeah, this is it for me. And I think we're good. Yes.
I think Tristan, you could show a little bit more your. You could maybe share your screen and show the videos. I mean, you spend a lot of time on short videos, so.
Yes. Okay. I'll do that. But since it's more than 30 seconds video, I don't know if you should.
Just show one, I guess, to show the spirit. Second thing is while you're sharing your screen, we're hiring, and there's three kind of profile that we are very interested in as we're growing. The first one is kind of maybe look at the video that Tristan is showing. I think they're self-explanatory. Maybe you can browse through the different videos and explain a little bit the objective. But before we had animation, they were a little bit more amateurish and they didn't necessarily present well the product. Now we have something that actually gets straight to the point, but also show the real product. And as the product is maturing, we also feel much more confident showing real footage of the product directly on the landing page, because we know we're not going to change the design so frequently. So it's going to represent a lot better the product for new people arriving on the landing page. And I'll switch back to hiring while we can still show the videos. So there's three kind of profiles we're very interested in as we're growing. The first one, it would be the generalist software engineering position. Bonus points if you're very familiar with Claude Code and you're senior enough to know what you're doing with it, which is like you can review the code, you can give in good direction, but you also can leverage it very efficiently. There's a lot of code at Windmill. We do front-end, back-end, CLI, DevOps, so really there is regardless of what you're interested in, there is a lot you can do. We also have a position which is really focused on performance, so around our backend in Rust, orchestration, Postgres, how to make sure that we keep being the fastest workflow engine and keep being one of the most scalable. And then the third one is around solution engineering. As we onboard more customers, we need to grow the team specifically for both the need for doing pre-sale, sales, support, but also think about the material that would be interesting for different kind of vertical and industries. So if you like writing guides and dev focus marketing material as well, this is a position where you can do a lot of things at the same time. So I think I don't know if we have questions this week, but I think this will be it. And very soon I think we'll have a lot of cool things to present. I just reminded myself that, for instance, I had not announced it, but we have now a true native HashiCorp Vault integration. I was able to do it pretty quickly thanks to Claude, and it actually really well if you're already using HashiCorp Vault. The main difference is that it actually uses the Vault as a location storage for the value. So you keep having secret variable in Windmill, but where they are stored is inside Vault. So instead of being in the database, it's inside Vault, and Windmill make a request to Vault every time it needs to fetch the secret. So that's one of the example of like major features we're able to do much quicker using Claude efficiently. So if you like these kind of challenges, come join us, and see you next week.
See you.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.